All right, on the Coma side, Tourmaline Desert Team 1. Looks like we got ourselves Brawl. Got the Black Widows in there with the Heavy DACA with the Kodiak 3s, Hunchback 2CBs with those SRMs, Jenner 2Cs as well. On the ISRC side, we've got Timber, the Energy Hunchback 2CA, Warhammer 6R, probably UAC 5 PPC, Jenner 2CA's Energy variant, so perhaps running a little bit more pokey on Team 2. Are they going to set up in the back of the map and play map control, or are they going to be aggressive? I guess that remains to be seen. Let's take a look. Once again, apologies for the technical difficulties earlier. Not too much we can do about it at this moment, but all the teams with fantastic sportsmanship and just patience, so hopefully the viewers can stick with us.
Sounds like the technical difficulties aren't ending. Will your player be able to reconnect in time? We have a DC at the beginning here. Let's see if we can get him in. Okay, he is in. All right, we're going to continue playing this match, guys.
Thank freaking Lord. All right. Scaring the crap out of me there, bro.
We are cursed. Cannot get the regional finals done for Oceanic.
1 Gauss, 2 PPCs coming out of that Warhammer 6R. Gauss PPC. We do have some UACs on the field as well. So Alpha to Alpha, ISRC, I want to say they've done this before, haven't they? Setting up Arjuna and Denatonium with the PPC Gauss in on the left side, trading Alpha to Alpha. Coma has actually come over aggressively.
Yeah, Coma is being aggressive here.
This
and
kind
that
of
Warhammer's taking a lot of fire right now.
This kind of reminds me of RJF versus House of Lords, coming over to the right side very aggressively.
These two mechs here, this Timberwolf and Hunchback, moving across. They need to be quick about this.
Oh, I'm sure they are mashing W as hard as they can. Looks like the Hunchback got around the corner and the Timberwolf slips away as well. Coma taking up their new position right up by where Alpha Lance just spawned, but they did take a beating on the transition. So now here we go again. They have called the charge yet again. They've got the lights actually tanking in the front.
And one of the lights gets
Moroki
taken down.
gets nailed and gets taken down early. They're jumping on the second light right now, who's running into terrain. He's got to be very careful, but he's down to 57%. Just lost one of his arms, and the main body charge is coming in now.
Right now.
They've got people hitting him from both sides right now. The Hunchback 2C up on top of the Spire Rathnor is able to get a lot of free shots in as they try to deal with what's in front of them. Kodiak goes down, 2 quick kills against Coma, and they're finally getting into the range they want to be in, but that's going to be pretty brutal. Percentages are starting to get low for ISRC. It looks like the light is dead. 3 dead for Coma now. Let's see, now that they're in the range they want to be in, this Kodiak Fergonaut is getting jumped on.
ISRC.
2 quick
Kodiak
kills now
down.
on ISRC now that they're in that brawl range. But we'll see whether or not they can keep laying in that fire. Rathnor up on top of that Spire. I think he actually might have dropped down. Scored a kill. 4 dead now for Coma. 3 on ISRC. They've got that light in the backfield there.
I don't think it's enough left for Coma. They are so beat up
They're
right
fighting
now.
down into the low ground. ISRC has to move up. They're trying to take these lights off the field while they have a little bit of reprieve. But Nothar goes down. 3 mechs remaining for Coma. 2 now. And it's going to be a tall order for these guys to be able to get it done. Durfee is in a pretty much fresh Jenner, able to get a kill on the Black Widow. Last one left is the Hunchback 2CB. And a hard charge by Coma across open field. They got
good damage
4
there
kills.
at the end, but they took way too much fire coming in.
I agree. And that light getting pegged right off the bat, just a well-placed shot by ISRC to take one of those lights out. They were clearly up there to distract and try and allow Coma to move unabated, but that quick kill on the light, they were able to put their focus right back on Coma's approaching mechs and really start shredding them down before they were able to get up there and get the job done. Whew. That was intense. ISOC had a really nice firing line, though. They were able to toss those shots right back downfield and take some of these mechs out early. I wouldn't be surprised to see some low damage from Coma. Meaty Bites held to 95, and Maroki held to 134. Those were the two lights. G7, the first Kodiak to go down, only 104.
And that's tough.
That is pretty rough. He did get
especially
some shots
because
downfield, though.
those Kodiaks usually have enough range to do damage while they're approaching.
Once again, the Black Widows for Coma, though, doing a fantastic job. And Anchovy in that Hunchback 2CB, I think, was doing some work against the ISRC lights. But it just was not enough, and the damage coming out of ISRC is impressive. Some mechs up in the 500s there, with Kamikaze Viking in that Warhammer 6R and Sarah in the Kodiak 3.
And if your lowest damage is going to be 167 out of a light mech, you're going to have a pretty good match.
Yeah, eliminating the lights, the lowest coming in at 246 is still very respectable in Arjuna and that Timberwolf. So, well played. Drop 1, ISRC over Coma, will be going into Drop 2. Which teams is Coma going to play this time?
Coma is choosing to mix it up. They're going to drop side 2.
Okay, so a little bit of a change up here. We'll see whether or not that is able to change things up, I guess. But let's do another giveaway. Why not? Standard mech pack. This is our 6th of the day. And the winner is Chrome 33. Congratulations. Send Bandit B17 a Whisper with the standard mech pack that you want, as well as your in-game name. All right. ISRC is in lobby, set up in Team 1. Coma should be coming in Team 2 shortly. Let's go back to the replay, shall we? A little bit potato quality on YouTube right now for some reason, but can kind of get the gist of it. Coma coming in to that alpha position, taking quite a few hits on the approach. There we go. So yeah, they got some mechs down in the 80% range already. G7, that first Kodiak to go down at 81. He probably should have filtered to the back there, but oh man, I gotta watch that again. What happened to Maroki there?
I think he got pegged by one of those.
Goss.
I think it was the Timberwolf off to the side.
It was off to the right, yeah.
Yeah.
Arjuna. I think he was the initial Timberwolf that actually retreated from Alpha Lance back around the corner, getting a back shot on Maroki. Well placed PPC Goss, I'm assuming. Taking one of those lights out right off the bat. Now the rest of it is just being handled in the front field by those two lights, while the rest of them are able to change their focus into the Coma main body. Now G7, the weakest Kodiak of all, he had to have been open pretty hard there. Should have probably filtered to the back, but 55%, oh man, he's dropping quickly. Turns to face those mechs on the right side. It was just a brilliant maneuver by ISRC to pull those guys back to the right and causing this pincer effect. Both legs wide open for the other light, which is Meaty Bites. didn't take much to be able to take him down. But as soon as Coma got into that brawl range, they were able to start putting some of these, you know, this heavy firepower into ISRC, and they definitely evened it up. But ISRC able to clean up on the remainder of the mechs. They were kind of fighting in the low ground here a little bit. I think that Warhammer would have done good to jump down so he didn't keep getting hit in the back from the other side of the map, because they could have isolated these lights, taken them out, and then turned as a force to face the rest of them. But staying up top like that cost you a lot of armor, gave ISRC something to shoot at as they transitioned, and were able to just bleed them out for the finish. So both teams in lobby and readied up. So let's go take a look at the decks. So they've swapped it up. Coma now taking Team 2. Looks like they are bringing their Brawly deck yet again. Team 1, we're seeing Black Widows, Kodiak 3s. Possibly a lot more DACA on the field. They do have a Hunchback 2CA, but they also have a Hunchback 2C ballistic variant. We'll see. Is this going to be the EMP special or UAC 3 or UAC 5s? That remains to be seen. Here we go. All right, so this should be ISRC right here. We got UX, Black Widow bringing UX and 5s, UX and 5s. Ultra AC2s, EMP special coming out of Rathnor.
And we saw that very effective last night in the North American regionals.
One thing to note, however, instead of being way far away with that mech, he's up in the Alpha Lance, but it looks like ISRC immediately pulling their mechs back as Coma decides to approach Alpha Lance to Alpha Lance. They've got some Gauss mechs in there, though. Gauss AC-10s coming out of Drago Bernhard. But a lot of fire coming in. Those PPCs coming in from the upper right. So some decent hits there. They are turning their attention to the lights. Get a little bit of pack on them, but they finally reached some cover. So Coma didn't take too much damage there on the approach, and they've gotten themselves into a much more ideal position.
Where did this Hunchback come from?
The Hunchback 2CB?
Yeah, he is way out in front. I didn't even see him approach.
Oh yeah, Anchovy came around and started chasing off those lights, but the lights are staying ever present. We've got Navid here coming in and getting a little bit of scratch in on that 2C. Theta goes towards Coma, and we've got ISRC starting to approach now on the left side. They've actually split into two separate groups. Main body, though, alone on the left side. I really think Coma could potentially crash into ISRC right here and take out half of their mechs without really being contested, and I'm surprised that they're not getting the scouting information they need to jump on these guys. I think Coma as a team should just ball into them right now. But the rest of ISRC is coming in on the backfield. The lights are going to be an issue coming in from the back, but they're content with their firing line right now, and they are not pushing up. Sarah and the Kodiak down to 70%, but Coma is starting to get shredded down here. G7, 57%, getting shot in the back by those PPCs. So he is open rear torso, trying to twist it off. They've got Kamikaze caught out alone on the left side. That's going to be a big kill if they can take him down in that Black Widow one-shot CT. They still have not sealed the deal on him, but he finally goes down. So first kill goes in favor of Coma. Big. And they are now finally crashing into ISRC. 3 very hurt mechs for ISRC right now. They should be able to drop them relatively quickly.
They got the Kodiak and another Black Widow down. Coma is doing well with this.
Meaty Bites falls both Jenners down for Coma, but they have a lot of their heavy firepower still on the field. 3 kills against ISRC, but it's still relatively close. Rathnor in that Hunchback 2C gets shredded down. They have a very fresh PPC, I'm assuming PPC Gauss Kodiak Fergonaut, but it should be easy to crit out those weapons quickly. Hunchback 2C leading the charge, putting his SRMs into that Kodiak, and the rest of them are finally coming around the corner. 2 more quick kills by ISRC, kind of evening it up again, but that Kodiak has fallen, and it's just the 2 Jenners and that PPC Hunchback remaining for ISRC. 3 very hurt mechs against a Jenner and a Hunchback. That Jenner's in on the backfield, and they're not taking him out. Small pulse laser still in the field. Coma's not done yet. They need to finish that Jenner down as quickly as possible.
The Jenner does lose an arm there.
He does get around the corner, but Denatonium, 81% in a very fresh Hunchback, trying to get some distance. Let's see how hurt these Coma mechs are. That Hunchback 2CB is still relatively fresh, but 1-shot kill on the other one. And the Kodiak 3 has a little bit of armor remaining. And they've got a split now. Coma up on stage alone. Tickets slowly bleeding in favor of Coma, but they're allowing this Hunchback 2C to get distance, and that is going to be big. How much ammunition is remaining on this Kodiak 3?
Let's take a quick.
He's down to 1 Gauss, 1 AC-10. I think a bad crit from, it must have been a light mech coming in behind him, took out half of his weapons.
And now we play the game.
Well, I don't think this is going to be a cap game. I think Denatonium is going to do his best to keep putting damage downfield, but keep distance. That Navid is at lower capacity, but he's trying to slip in behind Coma. If he can get some backcores here, that's going to be pretty big. Denatonium is starting to get run up on, though, so this light needs to get into the fight as quickly as possible.
And here comes the Hunchback 2C. He is fresh.
He is very fresh, but a really good shot there. Opens up the left shoulder. If you can get a kill on Anchovy, that's going to be big. Denatonium still has both of his PPC. He's juking. He's juking up to the high ground, jumping back down. Only 1 in pursuit right now. It's that the freshest
and the light
Hunchback.
Is tangling with the Kodiak, trying to get him down.
They've put all of their focus now, both of them on the Kodiak. 1-shot CT into Drago, and he goes down. But that fresher, it's not even fresh at this moment, but in decent shape, Hunchback 2C. They take the other Hunchback down, so it's a 2v1. Left shoulder is almost down.
And
they do get the shoulder, center torso's open. Anchovy's in trouble, and he goes down.
Wow. What a clutch.
ISRC taking Coma in drop 2 in an intense firefight. That was extremely close. Leg open for that Jenner. He was half a mech, but still had a little bit of fight left in him. Denatonium in that Hunchback was 1-shot CT. He almost got taken down. That could have been key if they were able to land that on him, but that Hunchback was giving pursuit. Denatonium juking like crazy, going up into the high ground, coming back down, 2v1ing the Kodiak. I mean, it was just good play by ISRC. But Coma, with an amazing firefight, they almost pulled that one off.
That was exciting.
Extremely exciting. So ignore the scoreboard for now. Says Coma still has a mech alive, but they in fact do not. And it looks like they might need to grab a couple caps and maybe get over 184 tickets in order to end this match. But ISRC taking Coma 2-1 in the series. But that one was close. Very entertaining.
Yeah, I don't know if that match could have been much closer. This Jenner did have some front armor, but he was cored out in the back, both torso and CT. Had an open leg. It would not have taken much to take this Jenner out.
Absolutely. So Coma is now eliminated from the regional finals. That's 2 teams now. Eben Keshik and Coma have fallen. Well played.
And Coma did a great job in these couple of matches. We saw some great brawls from them. Did well to make it this far.
ISRC, of course, is a very strong team, but the powerhouse for the Oceanic region, 228th Wild Ones, we're going to be seeing them come up next against Squad Foxtrot.
Take a look at the damage here. Drago Bernhard 606 in the Kodiak for Coma, again doing a lot of damage. The Black
I don't
Widows
know, man.
482
Freaking
at a
Goss
Nothar.
Ultra AC10s, man. Maybe I should
Yeah,
give that a shot, because I think Drago's making a statement here with that build. 606, he did what, 700 some before?
yep.
That is insane.
But again, good damage across the board for ISRC. Their lowest damage is 251 Fergonaut in the Kodiak 3. Just too much damage on the field.
Fantastic spread by ISRC, definitely. That was an intense finish. All right. We're going to set ourselves up another giveaway while we set up the next fight. Let's take a quick look at the bracket as it stands. ISRC moving up to match 7. Coma has been eliminated. And we're going to be watching Squad Foxtrot versus 228th Wild Ones. Loser of this match will move down to fight ISRC. And we move ever closer to the grand finals in Vancouver. Setting up the giveaway right now. This is for a standard mech pack. Winner of the standard mech pack is Classical Equation.
Sounds pretty rigged to me.
Yep. I think Classical decided that if they show up in every stream ever, eventually they will win. So congratulations, Classical. Send Bandit 17 a whisper with the standard mech pack that you want and your in-game name. All right, let's go back to the replay.
What a good brawl. That was just exciting all the way around there.
So
And that Hunchback getting up on the spire, avoiding damage for as long as he did, really was what won the game there. He had
Coma,
the armor at the end.
absolutely. Coma with the initial charge, getting away relatively unscathed comparatively. They didn't necessarily put out a lot, but getting up into that closer range without losing anybody and without losing any real components is pretty big. The shots over at the Jenners didn't really do much but chase them off of Theta. Like you said, that Hunchback coming in out of nowhere on that right side, though, they almost got the pincer on those lights, wisely pulling out. So Coma getting into a pretty decent position, still relatively fresh, able to move themselves up. So they set themselves up in a power position now. They had the 4-4 split on ISRC with a majority of their meaty mechs over towards the Epsilon corner. And like I said before, Coma should ball up and just go into him at this point. ISRC did have a little bit of distance on him, but they were starting to get the poke in from that right side, and that's exactly what Coma ended up doing, is getting in there and getting into the brawl. I don't know if they didn't realize that ISRC was coming around that corner. It could have been nice to have those lights doing a little bit more scouting, trying to keep one eye on the positioning, but ISRC did have those mechs coming in on the backside of Coma and was definitely getting some back shots in, which I think made a big difference.
Yeah.
Instead of charging into ISRC, they kind of set up a DACA firing line and eventually started moving forward, but the back shots coming in from the PPCs definitely got their attention. Nobody dead at this point, but Kamikaze Viking getting caught out alone on the right side. Everybody else kind of collapsed into the left. Took him a while to get the kill on him, but ultimately tore him down, and that's a big win, taking that Black Widow out. They were able to switch in, and you can see the focus was a little bit spread for Coma. 3 mechs, sub 50%, but they were able to kind of get them 1, 2, 3, with Rathnor falling third. Well, not third. They actually got somebody else before him. He must have rotated himself out, but they were able to eventually... There we go. Now they're getting the focus in on Rathnor to finish him off. So 4 dead for ISRC. It wasn't looking too good, but they still had their light roaming on the field two of them actually, and Durfee able to get right in there and was trying to back up Fergonaut in that Kodiak 3. Durfee getting kills over there in that Jenner, but ISRC with only 2 mechs remaining. But look at how hurt these Coma mechs were. Navid should have died right there. The fact that he was able to get away, that was pretty big. They did take half of his mech away, but I think letting him go, allowing him to escape, not getting those killing blows, that was brutal and could have made a huge difference. But of course, Denatonium, the clutch master, with those PPCs, keeping distance. He wasn't worried about caps. He was worried about keeping distance, kiting, and ultimately getting some of those key shots in. Look at how close those SRMs got to him. Very, very close. Right on the edge of their range on the back one. One shot CT coming in the backside, but he opts to stay here, and the other one gives chase. But this juke was very good. Gave them an opportunity to duo up on that Kodiak. But right here, you'd think he should have had some really huge hits in on Denatonium, but whiffing some of those shots, unfortunately. Denatonium just staying in motion, using his speed to keep him alive. Big kill right there on that weaker Hunchback 2CB, and then they were able to double up. One shot CT ultimately on Denatonium, but that light coming around to help, and the PPCs driving in, taking him out. Well played. Wow. What a fun one.